What's up, everybody? Well, I got another gameplay video for you guys today, and today we're going to look at Tiny Tina's Wonderland, but at ultra wide, which it should be able to handle pretty well, at least up until we get into like badass settings and ultra settings. It might not be able to push 60 anymore at that point, but I guess we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Only time will tell. So let's jump in and have a look at some settings.
Well, alright, starting off our ultra wide test here. Took me a second to see the aspect ratio. For a second I thought ultra wide wasn't even supported, but it is. We don't got no VSync, we got it at max res and normal field of view. So let's go have a quick look at the settings. So here's the settings for very low. Almost to the bottom here. Quite a few settings in this game. Glad there's presets. And alright, let's run a benchmark. So, on very low, we got 161.28 FPS average. And with that, our average frame time was 6.2. So, now, let's actually see how it runs in game. Alright, here's gameplay for very low. I'm just gonna blow those up from now on. Much easier way to take you guys out at the beginning. Stop shooting at me. I will shoot you in the face from afar. So you too. Oh, I shot you in the face and your face came off and you didn't die, but you are a skeleton that's undead, so I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. There we go. Although I got myself into it a little bit there. Oops. Well, luckily it doesn't hurt me too bad. Alright. Kicked all their asses. So let's run back a little bit and move on.
Alright, starting off on very low. For our camera gameplay here. We just gotta shoot ourselves some skeletons in the face. Ah, he hit me. Oh, hello. Goodbye. Exactly. Not living. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? We'll take it. I still have to look at all my stuff and see if there's anything worth equipping here soon. Alright, let's move on.
Moving on to low graphics quality. Just keep on cruising through. Because the quicker we done with this, the quicker we can do a benchmark and get into that gameplay. On low, we got an average of 140.82. And that means an average frame time of 7.1. So, into the game we shall go. On to low now. Let's see how it does. It's fun just taking that guy out with that barrel every time. And I got an achievement. Well, not really an achievement, but whatever this game's version of achievements in-game are. It's not like I got one through the social thing of, what was it, Epic Games. That's where I got this thing. And it was simply a better price at the time. They had like a coupon or something. 25% off. So I was like, alright, that's cheaper than I get it on Steam. Why not? Just sucks that when I get a Steam Deck, I won't be able to play games like this easily, but whatever. I still got a shit ton of games on Steam. It was just too good of a price to pass up. Oh yeah, we got him all the way from over there. Yeah, laugh it off now. You're dead now. Well, I'm dead again. Ow. Stop throwing shit at me. There we go. Getting pretty good at long range here. But alright, let's move on.
Well, now we got ourselves some low camera recorded gameplay. Still getting plenty of great FPS, but it's not like low and very low or very intensive. But they're great if, like, since this is an FPS, if you just care about FPS in an FPS game, then boom. This game's got you covered. You can get lots of FPS even at higher resolutions like this just by toning it down to very low or low. Game doesn't look awful. Doesn't look great. Doesn't look awful. Oop, gotta reload. Well, that didn't work out very well for you guys, did it? Yeah, it's all like destroyed and junk. And alright, with that, it's time to move on to the next graphics setting.
Time for us to look at the medium settings now. Big old dice coming through the land. It's a very interesting idea for a game. It's like a board game, but like you're inside the board game. Fun. Anyway, benchmark. So for medium, we have achieved 114.55, at least for average, and then 8.73 for average frame time. Very, very short benchmark with not a lot of info, but still, wanted to run it because it's there. Anyway, let's move on. So, now we are on to medium. And still completely playable as far as I'm concerned. I don't think we'll have a problem with ultra wide until we get to high or possibly past high. I'm hoping we can at least do high. That's the best way to play games on like almost all computers. I mean, unless it's a really old one where you can still get like a bunch of FPS with it maxed out, then maxing games out is silly, even with a 3090. Because when you're at ultra wide like this and at 4K, every setting, like especially ray tracing, just makes it that much harder to run already. Alright, what do we got? Let's blow that guy up. But anyway, as I was saying, so what's the point of also having ultra settings on top of everything else and just like making your frame rate terrible? Even if the game looks good, it's like, I don't care. I'd rather it look a little worse and still get decent frame rates. That's just me though. But with the power of PC, you have the choice to do that. Yeah, you keep throwing that at me and see how it works out. See, now you're on the ground. Nope, missed again. I'm pretty good at dodging these now if I'm actually paying attention. But if they get me while I'm fighting somebody else, that's a whole nother thing. Alright, let's move on.
Well, now it is time for some medium. Hopefully this doesn't hurt. There we go. Smart move. I don't know how high I can survive from. Oh, there was still one left? Well, not anymore. Oh, cool. I'll take that. Oopsie. Oh, that's right. There's more that come out. Stop hiding. Only I'm allowed to do that. Haha. Take that.
We have arrived at the high settings now. So let's just take a quick look here. And the background here is always kind of like a somewhat reflection of what gameplay in-game will be like. But we'll still run the benchmark anyway. So, speaking of which, let's do just that. Well, at high anyway, we got 76.88 average FPS. Which gives us a frame time of 13.1. So, let's get into the game. Now we're on high. So let's get a little gameplay. Oh, we are dropping under 60 a little here and there, down to like 58. But I can deal with that. I just don't like when it drops like down in like the low 50s and 40s. That's when I start kind of being like, alright, this doesn't seem so smooth to me anymore. But these are just my personal opinions. And I don't hold them to anyone else. Anyone else can enjoy the game any way they want. I don't sit there and hold my likeness of frame rate and all of that. Like, oh, you like graphics? Oh, I'm so much better than you? Nah, who the hell thinks like that? That's stupid. Let people do what they want. It ain't hurting me. You know? I mean, hell, some people like playing on console better. That's fine, too. Some people's favorite console is the Switch, which is like one of the most underpowered consoles, which even cell phones today destroy in terms of graphics and CPU power. So, all that matters is you're having fun. That's the whole point of games, after all. And yeah, this is still pretty good gameplay. Anyway, it's time to move on.
Now it is time for high graphics settings. Give me some camera gameplay here. And we're already pretty close to dropping under 60 here at places. Which makes me think Ultra and Badass are not going to work well, and I would probably stop at high if you want to play on Ultra Wide anyway. Alright, let's go get a little more fighting in. Haha, gotcha. Alright, is that everybody? I think that's everybody. Hell yeah. And alright, now let us move on.
Alright, we are now on Ultra. So let's go take a look at what all settings that is. And alright, now let's run a little benchmark. Benchmark's all done for Ultra now. We got 67.49 for our average, which nets us 14.82 for average frame time. So, now let's get into that game. Well, now it's time for some Ultra gameplay here. So fun to just blow him up instantaneously. He doesn't even have a chance to do a thing, say a thing, he just instantly lands and he's frozen and dead. What? That would not be very fun. Like, hey, I'm finally back to life. Oh, I'm dead again within like 1 second. Although I guess I don't know how long these guys were alive before he summoned them back. Who knows? But since the game just started, I would assume they're fresh. Oh, you'll understand. The game of the game is I win. You should. Haha, you got meleeed by a giant axe. But as you can see, quite a bit we're under 60 here. Especially when we look back at that house. Right now it's okay, we're getting a little over 60, just barely.
Now for some ultra settings. And as you can see, we're under 60 by quite a bit at times. We went all the way down to 47, I think. So like I said, unless you want to fiddle with settings, these are just presets. No one's saying you can't have some things on ultra and some things lowered to get some extra FPS. I'm just doing the presets after all. But at least as far as presets go, I would just stick with high. Because it barely dropped under 60. To the point where I would have never noticed if it hadn't, if I didn't have a frame rate counter. Sometimes it's hard to figure out what you want to say and fight at the same time. Let's reload. Right in the face. I think down towards, yep, down around this area it gets under 60 by quite a bit. Yeah, all the way down 48 for whatever reason. I wonder what makes it do that around there. Well, anyway, let us move on.
Alright, we have made it to Badass. So, let's just look at all the settings. I think it maxes out like 2 other things Ultra didn't. Maybe 3. But everything is basically on now. So, now let's run a benchmark. Benchmark's all finished. For Badass, we got 62.67 this time for average, which gets us 15.96 average frame times. So let's go see how it does in an actual game. Well, alright. Now we are on Badass, and we're dropping down to 4850 right off the bat, so I would already not probably like this, even though it looks good. Oh, okay, that guy is frozen. For a second, for some reason, I thought he, like, lived this time somehow. No idea why.
You can't be serious.
Yes, it is.
This is my competition.
It's not very good competition, though, but it's not supposed to be. These are all new, like, enemies. Give you a feel for the game. Oh, that was a good one. Ooh, reload. Haha. Alright, shoot that one in the head. Hey, get away from me, you. Oh, reload. Oh, he hit me. Oh well. But alright, let's run back here. Let's pick that up. That looks like a pretty good melee weapon. Anyway, let's move on.
Well, now we're on Badass quality now. We're not getting very great FPS anymore, but at least not all the time. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Like looking over at this area, not so much. Looking over here, not as bad. Must have something to do with the water or something, maybe? Reflections? How nice of you guys to line up in a line for me. Aha, got you.
gonna have to go through my collection here. I'm probably getting pretty full with weapons by now.
That one's mine. Don't touch the loot.
And there we go.
Rumbly, tumbly, room. No one is left to walk these halls. No one living.
So, kill.
Yes, girl. You're picking up what I'm
And with that, I'd say it's about time to wrap this video on up.
Well, alright guys, that is it for this video. And it did great up until high, and like I thought, once we got to ultra and badass, it just couldn't quite stay over 60 all the time. There were times where we were dropping all the way down to 48, and I don't really like that. Some people might not mind, but I don't really like that. But hey, at least I showed you guys how it runs, and that is the name of this game. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until the next one, peace out guys.